Depression, telling no. Self-hatred, oh, telling no, yeah. Mental illness, telling no. Diabetes and cancer, oh, telling no. Depression, telling no. Self-hatred, oh, telling no, yeah. Mental illness, telling no. Diabetes.
Grand Rising, oh, and tell them no. Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, everybody. This is another episode of the Vettegreen Show. We are also live over on the IG page. What's going on, E Digger? What's going on? Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Come on in, come on in, come on in. That was the King Shad. Tell them no. I love that song. I cannot wait until it officially drops. It is so telling of just my story. So thank you, King Shy, for allowing us to use that song. Joker was right on when he said, I think we should use, yes, I think we should. And thank you for saying yes, King Shy. I appreciate that, appreciate that. So come on in, go ahead and tag a friend. Let them know that the Vettegreen Show is on. Just a little house cleaning. Tomorrow, we will not be on across the board. The morning show, it will be a replay as well as the Vettegreen Show because we are lifing tomorrow, okay? We have some things that we have to take care of. We got to make sure that we are okay as well. So self-care is real. And tomorrow is one of those days where we are making sure that we are okay. So tap in on one of the shows that have already been done. Catch up on the shows that you may have missed. Green Lynx Media is still here, y'all. So just catch up. So today we are going to have the beautiful, the inspiring, the courageous queen, Karima Morris on. She's going to be here to talk about Jalen Griffin, give us some updates. I just want to say thank you, Karima, for everything that you do. If you do not know who Karima is, check out Bury the Violence, everybody. This queen is really out here making sure that we are not forgotten about, okay? The missing, exploited are not forgotten about. When I first met Karima, I'm like, you know, she's pouring into all of us. We need to pour into her. Hey, baby, we need to pour into her. So she's going to be on hopefully soon, everybody, fingers crossed, because she's really out here taking care of business. She's really out here taking care of business. So what's going on, everybody? What is going on? We have some things to talk about, including this 81-year-old shooter who allegedly unlifed an Uber driver because he thought that he was being scammed. So let's get right into it. I'm actually going to play the video really quickly for everybody, and then we're going to get into this conversation because there's so many scams going on right now in this world that listen, some 81-year-old shooter scam. There's so many scams, everybody. So allegedly he had gotten a call saying that a family member was being held hostage. It was a scammer and that he had to pay this money. So this story, you can watch it. If you can do a simple Google search or internet search of the 81-year-old man who fatally unlifed an Uber driver. So the story I'm reading from is coming from Action News Channel 5. So what's being said, this happened in South Charleston, Ohio. I didn't even know there was a South Charleston, Ohio. So an Ohio man who authorities say unlifed an Uber driver who he thought was trying to rob him after he had received some scam phone calls. He's been indicted on a M charge, everybody. His name is William Brock, 81 years old. 81 years old. He was scared. He also faces counts of kidnapping and felonious assault in the indictment. It was handed down Monday by Clark County grand jury. So the shooting actually occurred March 25th at his home in South Charleston. Officers had responded to a call after he had called 911 saying that he had shot someone who was trying to rob him. He had already received scam phone calls, allegedly, from someone pretending to be an officer from the local court. And they had started making threats and demanding money from him. Again, he's 81 years old. The victim, Lolitha Hall, 61, she was an Uber driver who had been told to retrieve a package. I've done that. I've gone to AutoZone or places like that and been sent on to another AutoZone place to pick up a part. It happens. With Uber, you aren't just transferring people, you're sometimes transferring packages. So she was told to go to this location and retrieve a package from his home. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. So let's get into the video really quickly, everybody. I'm going to bring. This is just a sad situation. This is, listen, people really out here scamming. You really have to be careful. Be careful. Listen, they tried to get.
There are a few.
We've told you about the epidemic of elderly people being scammed over the phone. Now it's turned deadly. An 81-year-old man ended up fatally shooting an Uber driver because he wrongly believed she was going to kill him. But she was on.
And I do apologize, everybody. This story may be triggering to you. If that is you, just turn it off and come right back.
Unarmed, and they both were victims of an elaborate scam. Les Trent does more, and we warn you the video is upsetting.
This terrifying video shows an elderly man pointing a gun at an Uber driver. She had driven to his home to pick up a package. And she is backing away because he has just shot her in the leg. 61-year-old Lolitha Hall cries out for help and frantically tries to explain why she's at his home.
Yeah, I know what you're after.
The deadly confrontation is caught on the Uber driver's dash cam and ends with the homeowner shooting her 2 more times.
I need the sheriff and the ambulance real quick out here. There's been a shooting. I shot her in the leg the first time, and I shot her in the shoulder.
William Brock tells 911 that he shot the Uber driver because he had just been threatened on the phone by a total stranger and thought they were working together.
Guy on the phone trying to get money out of me. He was telling me he was going to kill me and the family and everybody else around.
You can hear on the 911 call the wounded woman pleading for help.
Help me, please.
So why did the 81-year-old Brock believe the Uber driver was there to harm him? Investigators say it appears they were both victims of a scam.
Cops say the elderly man received a call from a scammer threatening his family and telling him that a relative had been arrested. The scammer ordered Brock to pay $12,000 or else. Cops say at the same time, an Uber driver, unaware of the circumstances, received instructions through the Uber app to pick up a package at Brock's home in South Charleston, Ohio.
Investigators say they tracked the scammer's call to Canada, but believe it came from a burner phone number. Adam Ghana is an attorney who represents elderly victims of fraud.
Elderly people are constantly getting defrauded in America today. You should be expecting to see more and more stories like this as the scams become more sophisticated.
Brock has pleaded not guilty to murder. Uber says they have banned the scammer's account and are cooperating with the investigation.
Let's talk about it, everybody. That is a really horrific situation right there. And E-Digger, anytime you have time to come on, you are more than welcome. But to open this discussion up, this is a really sad situation. What happened here, both are victims. In my opinion, both are victims. The 81-year-old was a victim because there's scammers out there. And in my opinion, let's put our Law and Order SVU on. Don't you feel as though the scammer should be charged with the unlifing of this young woman, of this lady? I would say so. because had that not happened, she may still be alive today. People are out here scamming instead of trying to go to work. People are out here scamming people out of, hey, mommy, and thank you so much for sending me that story. Mommy sent that story. People are out here scamming, and this is what is happening. You never know who's going to be on the other end of that phone. You don't know. Now, this lady's life has been cut short. Her family is no longer going to see her. She may have been a mom, a grandma, all because of these scammers trying to get $12,000 or $1,200, whatever the amount. It still does not add up to her life. Why are we out here scamming? We every single day we get off of this morning show, we get emails, right, Joker? We get emails, Joker behind the scenes, getting emails and messages saying that our account is going to be shut down. Imagine how we listened to that very first message. We probably would have completed some information and they would have taken over our account. I was in 7-Eleven the other day, everybody. And my daughter's aunt stops me. She's like, did you send me a Snapchat message saying that you have a GoFundMe account because somebody passed away? No, I did not. So now somebody's out here pretending to be me on Snapchat and asking people for money in an old account that I don't even have access to anymore. So if anybody out there receives a message from me or anybody else, and you may have questions, report it, because chances are they're out here scamming people. Miss Arkansas talked about how she got one of her accounts taken because she clicked on a link. I get them all the time. Click on this link, send me your Cash App, and I'll send you $5,000. Scamming. These people were trying to scam this man. Hey, love, grand rising to you, trying to scam this man. And now this woman's life has been cut short. You could have went for all the time it took you to try and do that scam. You could have filled out 20 job applications. And Indeed is it's so slick with it. All you have to do is fill out one job application and send it to multiple employers. So what is the problem, everybody? Can we stop? Big Mike said, realize companies share information and data breaches. Yeah, hon, that's what I think happened with my Snapchat account, is that there was a data breach in an old account that I don't even have access to. I tried logging into it. I just no longer have access to it. Be careful, everybody. Do not click on any links. I remember some years back. Remember, mommy, some years back, my mom really didn't know too much about Facebook and all of that. Someone sent her a link, told her to click on it, and she was going to see something. Well, the next morning I wake up, there's corn all over my mom's Facebook. She even got hacked because she had clicked on the link, not knowing that these were scammers. You have to be careful, everybody. You have got to be careful. So right now, this man is facing murder charges. He's facing murder charges because of this scam. And 81 years old, of course he's going to be scared. Of course he's going to be scared. So moving on, everybody. I'm going to report on some news that's happening right here in Buffalo. So a Buffalo man admits to attempted burglary and assaulting firefighters. His name is Titus D. Smith. It happened right here in Buffalo, August 16th, 2022. 43-year-old Titus Smith pushed an air conditioner out of a window in an apartment on Auburn Avenue in order to gain entrance. And this is being reported by Channel 4 WIVB News. Channel 4, come on over to Green Lynx Media and give us some play. We're always reporting your news. Anywho, less than a month later on September 11th, so this happened August 16th, 2022. September 11th, officials said firefighters responded to a residence on 14th Street because Smith required medical assistance. He slashed one of them with a broken glass. He slashed one of the firefighters that were there to give him aid. He then hit another with a toilet lid and punched the third in the eye. It's not funny, y'all, but it's a little bit funny. because he was working them over. He was working them over. He was then taken to ECMC for an evaluation. That probably was a competency thing. He probably was mentally not there. A lot of times, that's what happens. This sounds like there may have been a mental issue going on. Right now, he faces 12 years to life in prison. He faces 12 years to life in prison. Not that what he did was right. He beat up the rescue people. But again, we can have someone come into a grocery store here and just, I don't even want to get back into that. It just makes no sense to me, everybody. It just makes no sense to me. So we have the Queen, Karima, that's going to be coming in. We're going to have a serious conversation. I want y'all to have Karima and the family of Jalen in your prayers. One, because the family finally can get some closure, but two, now they're facing that this is now a homicide. Okay. This is when we really need to band together. I also want you guys to keep Karima in your prayers, because what she does, she has to make sure that she's filled up constantly, because she's always pouring into us. She's pouring into these families. It takes a lot to do what it is that she does. The small portion that I have in the space of motivating people can be draining. Not only is she keeping people motivated, but she has her own family, and she also has to try and breathe life into these people as they're dealing with missing and exploited individuals, family members. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Karima up, everyone, so we can start this discussion. Karima, let me know when you're ready. Just put your finger up, love. Put your finger up when so I know you're ready. Okay. I'm going. How are you, Queen?
I'm standing, but God. Thank you.
But God, Karima. First, I just want to I see what it is that you do out here, and I just want to give you your roses, honestly, because you have been doing this for a while, and you really do it from your heart. For those of you who do not know who Karima is, check out her social media pages. Bury the Violence. The Queen is really out here doing this, and you've been with this family, including the mom. Rest in peace to Miss Ponzo. You were with her during this time when. So talk to us, Karima, about what's going on. First, introduce yourself to the listeners of the Vettegreen Show, because I want to make sure that they breathe life into you. Before you leave here, I want to make sure that you are filled up, Queen, because you, Queen, it takes a lot to do what you do. And you do it from your heart, from your heart. And what you see on here is if you see her out and about, she has this glow about her. Still has this glow about her. So go ahead, Karima, introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Karima Morris, the Executive Director and founder of Bury the Violence, where we have reunited over 200 families in Western New York and abroad. I am also the 2023 Woman of the Year for USA Today for New York State.
Rightfully so.
So Joanne passed away in September, right before her 47th birthday. And so at the very last second when she was transitioning and we got the call to come back, I was walking in, her brother was at the door, and all of the medical staff was running past us. And just him and I, and waiting for the rest of the family to get there. So to make sure I kept every ounce of commitment to her, to make sure that her baby was back home, we finally got that for her. And it's almost 7 months to the time where she passed. So he would have been turning 16 on Monday. And so now our lantern release for prayers of getting him home has turned into his birthday celebration and memorializing him. Jalen went missing at 12 years old. Can you imagine? 12 years old, your child goes to the store and never returns, and you leave this earth without an answer.
What are they saying? What are the authorities saying? Because it just, Sheffield Avenue, that's a residential area. I know that area. It's not too far from me. So how has this 4 years? I know they're not saying that he's been there for 3.5 years, almost 4 years.
So we did come in late on the case, and the family did request us to come in. And with that alone, the trust that someone gives you to basically have their child's life in your hand is something you cannot take lightly. Mm-hmm. The area, what the authorities are saying is that is an LLC. Well, they're not saying it, but that address is an LLC. It is not a house, family house. Wow. It's been publicized a little bit more. Actually, what it is. This is an active homicide case now, so there's not going to be much from the authorities until they come forward with the information. And I know we have a lot of sleuths and Facebook detectives and, internet crushers, but nothing is final. No matter what you see and no matter who you find, they're going to continue to pin other people to the cross who might not have anything to do with this. So we have to be vigilant in prayer and stay on the wall, and then wait that, just like we had to wait 3.5 years for an answer. So they're not saying much. They are saying he's identified through his dental records. They are saying that it has been a significant amount of time that he was there. He was in the attic. The window was open for years. If you go onto the Google map, you can search through years and you'll see that through the storm that we had, that window was still open. Wow. Why wouldn't anybody freeze out? Why wouldn't anybody smell anything?
Right. That was my question. And Karima, I'm like,
so the person who located him was there for a purpose. They were there to do something. They weren't a resident. So that was just a miracle within itself. You go to do a job and you find a baby deceased. Yeah.
All these years later.
Yeah.
I did reach out to Ramona. I believe that's the sister. One of the, maybe a sister, just to offer our platform.
I'm sorry, I don't.
You're not familiar. I think it may be Ramona. There's so many different people. Yeah.
He's got I'm with his mom's family, the Ponzo and Andersons and things like that. So his sisters are Davana and Jashara. And then he does have brothers, 2 more brothers left. He had another brother precede him in death, maybe according to the date that he passed away. But right after he went missing, months later, his brother was shot and killed right across the street from their home.
Now, I saw theories that it may have something to do with the brother. The theories. I think my main concern is, if you know something, say something. It seems like we have this veil around us that if you say something, you're snitching. What are your thoughts on that, Karima? Because in my opinion, I feel that we need to do more of what it is that you're doing, taking back our communities, taking back our streets. You're out there. And I feel that if we as a community do more of that, then we won't have Jalen's going missing at 12 years old just because he's walking to the store. That's
So
my
my
opinion.
theory, absolutely correct. And I don't want to say I have a theory, but the straight part of it is snitching is when you're involved in a crime, the same as the person that you told on to get leniency, right? So if you see something and say something, you're not snitching, you're straight telling. You're telling straight up what it is. But people are so into being what goes on in my house stays in my house, and oh, I'm minding my business. So all these weird things. What happened to the village? Now that the village is tainted, now that the village is perverted, now that the village is dark, where's our neighborhood? Stop being hood. Let's have neighbors. Okay. Let's really look at the fact that when we were younger and we were out in the street lights came on, the lady around the corner was calling to say, oh, I just seen Karima, XYZ.
Miss
She not around here. Right. What happened to the
Tina.
chain of unity? The unity links are severed. And our grandmothers of the past are no longer. There's no respect for the elders. So why do they have value for life? There's so many issues that are happening right now. But as the adults that sit back and watch and entertain the theories, they're part of the problem. What does it hurt you to share? I don't care what you feel about a family. What does it take for you to share? This baby has been missing 3.5 years. And it's still people who didn't hear about it. But you being my Facebook friend, you frequently seen. If it's not in my story, it was on my page. We memorialized, well, now we are memorializing, but we kept his birthdays relevant. We kept the date that he went missing relevant. We went to the same spot that he took his picture at, and it says Memorial Drive, and that's right where we meet, right? But people don't show up. How do you support a mother from Facebook? She needs to know if law enforcement is not standing with her, that her community is. And the sense of community is gone. So if they really understand what snitching is, they would probably, I don't know. It's just a stigma that we really have to stop. Because surprisingly, in South Buffalo, you just can't do anything because they're going to tell, they're going to check you. Nobody seen this window open weirdly.
And that is not one of those. That is a very residential area. That is an area that is the traffic. There's always traffic because that's going towards the hospital. That's going towards Mercy Hospital. How could nobody saw anything? You know how many Ring cameras there's out? Even 3 years ago, people had, we may not have in South Buffalo, there may not be the cameras in the sky, but you better believe people have cameras on their houses. Nobody saw anything.
But now, so then there's the question, but again, because a lot of people did not have knowledge of him missing, South Buffalo predominantly is not a space that, we all live in. Okay. So me sharing, if I don't have that population's attention, what would they know about it? So that's one thing. When people don't know a child is missing and he walks past you in the store, you didn't know that was a missing child. That's another reason why we have to stop putting our issues from home. Whatever's going on in your home, somebody knows anyway. The teacher, the counselor, the social worker, the bus aide. People watch patterns. That's, part of being a child finder. When you are a mandated reporter, when you deal with children in medical, these are things that people see. So what you think is a secret might not be a secret. Put your baby face out there so somebody can say, oh, I just seen them. It's often a struggle for people to give me a picture to put up a flyer because of what people are going to say, because that's how harsh our community is.
How do we get here, Karima? How do we get to a place where we can't even protect our own kids? I remember when I first heard this story, I was in Chicago, and I remember thinking, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. I didn't even know that there was a missing Western New York. until you, honestly, because we don't hear about it. Do y'all hear about it? You don't hear about us going missing. You just don't. And any of you out there in the chat, even if you are watching a replay, let us know how familiar you are with who's missing, or if there are any missing and exploited people, children, women here in Western New York, not just in Buffalo, Western New York. A lot of people don't even realize it's going on.
We are, because I don't watch TV, but people are so caught up in reality TV. That is not your reality. If you attended to your community the way you attend to TV and things that those millionaires are doing, we would be a healed community. It's more drama and negative stuff on TV, and you're drawn to it. And it's somebody right outside of your doorstep that is being kidnapped, that has been assaulted, that might have been raped. And you shut the door, close an eye, turn a head. We are part of the problem. And then again, you are gauged and judging a situation. I don't care what somebody felt about a parent, okay? That's what, because I get the backlash. You need to make sure you know what you're sharing. You need to make sure that it's a law in place through CPS and everybody else, social workers. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're in place for. My job is to bring a child home. When that child gets home, services can be put in place, but I have to know what it is. Not even that. So that's how far our services go. We have to link them to other services. But why do I have to come on here and fight you to share a post? Because you're telling me personal business that if it was that alignment, you should have been calling CPS before the child went missing.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a lot of sex trafficking, especially in this area. We are a hub. We are in the middle of Ohio, Michigan, Canada. I mean, Niagara Falls, North Tonawanda to Niagara Falls, you could walk. And that's a whole nother county. Then you walk from one county, then you go to another country. On a path you could walk.
What do you think we as a community need to start? Where can we start? For those of you out there who's listening right now, and you're wondering, well, what can I do? What can I do? What can we do as an individual? Because listen, y'all, I'm ready. I do not want another Jalen to happen. I do not want another young girl to think that the only way to get out of poverty is to sell her soul or get caught up because she didn't have the support at home, or even he didn't have the support at home. So now you're in the streets looking for the support. And next thing you know, you're down in Texas because it's happening. It's happening.
Well, what can we do? I'm prime example. 2013, my niece was missing. She's 13 years old. We went to law enforcement. They told us that she was a runaway. And when you're listed as a runaway, much success to your parents, because that's it.
Yeah.
It can't be that hard for them to share that this child is missing. I don't care if they're missing for 15 minutes. That 15 minutes could be vital. We still don't know how long it was before he was murdered since he left the house. So what am I saying? My niece was 13. She went missing. They rejected his help. We went door to door. We made it our business to find our child. Okay? That's what you have to do. Even if it's just sharing a picture. We met resistance from the community, the street that she was on, the neighbors, and law enforcement. No community without unity. If I'm telling you this is my niece, and you're telling me something different, to me, you're combative. And therefore, I'm looking at you as part of my problem. What can we do? My niece was located deceased, murdered by the same kid she was running with. She didn't run away. She was called out the house. She was with her friends that we didn't know. What can we do for our own kids? We could take away their permissions on their iPhones. We can monitor this privacy that we're giving our kids on these devices is deadly. You don't know who they're talking to. You don't know whose friend house they're at, what their father does, what their mama does. You don't know if she's part of a trafficking circle.
Because it's happening. This
is happening. This is happening. So they rejected his help. 3 days later, and what's so parallel, my niece was 13, Jalen is 12. And I never want to make it about me.
But still,
but this is reliving the whole thing. The whole thing. Saying that basically, if there's not people like me out here, you know how many more kids can be killed? Because they went missing and nobody went looking.
Yeah.
Because they went missing, nobody shared. They don't care enough. We have to care. We have to share. We have to be part of the unity and bring it back. Look on your Ring camera. Matter of fact, when you see a missing kid, put it on your Ring. Put it on your Ring. It's a whole nother social network. Check your kids' devices. Check their phones. See who they're talking to. People say that I'm like a sergeant to my kids. I am.
You have to be these days. You have to be. Either the streets get them or I'll make sure that they are in line, period.
Or they going to jail. One of the other. It's only 3 ways to go.
And you have sons like I do. I already know.
So our kids, they can have a level of privacy and you're part of their privacy. That's it. They're, even at 15, you know, we did things that we thought we were grown enough to do and we weren't. We didn't live in the day that these kids live in. So with the schools giving them so much independence, with society giving them so many rights and independence, where do you fit in? It's very simple. Be present, listen more than you talk, and share. That's it. That's simple. You just never know. So my niece was murdered, and we were blessed enough to find her in 3 days. We were blessed enough to know who did it. We were blessed enough to watch it all play out on social media because those people talk.
Told on themselves.
And if you don't play a part in rescuing a kid because you won't share, you're part of the problem. We just have to stand on taking our streets back. You can't do what happens in our city and many other places. You cannot. You can't go to Lackawanna and grab one of their kids and it don't be an uproar. It's not happening. Why is it only over here? So what we can do is take charge.
I feel as though we have been conditioned for so long to think what happens in this house stays in this house. I know people who refuse to let their child go to counseling because they're afraid that they may say something about what's going on in this house. But then this child becomes an adult, and now this adult child has even more issues. They have
you going way too far. You're going too far.
Rima,
you're going too far.
Listen, because we need to change the way we are doing things, and we are the only community that do not stick up for each other. We are the only community that we don't even have community. It's like for self. And then you look at these kids, oh, that child, she's fast, or he's just going to be in the streets.
Our kids at 15,
you know,
our kids at 15 now wear lace fronts, lipstick, piercings, tattoos. That's what they look 12, like, right?
12.
Well, yeah, 12 too. And we have to accept that for what it is. It does not change the fact that they are a child. It does not change the fact that their mindset has not caught up with their look. Yeah. So you're so stuck on what you see that you can't hear again. Yeah. That's a kid talking. They need help. You don't know what's so crazy. Working in an educational setting, And kids come in and I watch adults growl at them as soon as they walk through the door. Put that down. Stop talking. Get in line. Do you know what happened last night in that child's house?
Right.
Are you looking at their attendance and wondering why they're late every day? Are you asking questions? Because if you don't get your child an outlet such as counseling, the outlet will be made from an adult that's listening and taking notes and then mandated to turn it in. It'll be a whole nother spin. You're given access to other things to come in when you could simply resolve it by just having them go to their school counselor. Stay in the school with them. So when I say he was going real far with it, there's kids who have watched their family members murdered and ended up being murderers. Yeah. Child murderers, right here in our city. Murdering their peers. Just killing. Why? Because they watched somebody kill their loved ones. Nobody listened to them. Nobody heard them out. They kept going and going and going without anybody to embrace them. So these kids are at the table. They hear what's going on when we plan at funerals. They hear the animosity among family. They hear the separation in the community. And you want them to act like everything is okay because you've been conditioned to carry everything else without an outlet. We need to normalize giving our kids a voice respectfully.
That part. Some of us of a particular generation, I'll say that, hey, Dale, of a particular generation, we were raised, speak when spoken to, come when called. You make yourself not seen, invisible, okay? You make yourself invisible. It would be disrespectful to voice your opinion or voice your concern. But what I've found and through my experience, including raising kids, is that kids act out when there's something going wrong. Kids aren't just acting out because everything's hunky-dory. They're acting out because they don't have an outlet to express what is going on in their lives. Some of these kids don't know where they're going to sleep, don't know where they're going to get their next meal. They don't know if their parents will be coming home. Some of them are living with grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, no stability at home. And then we wonder why they are acting grown or they are acting out. It's because they have all of these things going on. They're put in adult situations when their minds are still very much children-like. And then they grow up and then it gets even worse. A lot of times the abused turns into the abuser. You know, the victim turns into the victimizer. They're the ones doing these things, but we may not be able to stop it all, but we can get a handle around it so that our kids are no longer thrown to the wolves, because that's what's going on. I think in our community, we expect our kids to be growner than they really are. Because like you said, we had to deal with it. So we expect our kids to deal with it. But what's happening is the suicide rate is increasing with these children. You know, they don't know who to turn to. So they turn to the first person. And I'm saying men or girls and boys, they turn to the first person who shows them any type of love and affection. And a lot of times that turns out to be to the detriment of them. You know, I am fully on board with us policing our communities and taking back our streets and taking back our kids because they need saving. They need saving because they're worth it. I feel like, Karima, that we don't think that we are worthy of that.
If we don't, who will? Because if you could just mark my kid off as a runaway and tell me, do what you got to do. And when I do, respect it, because I'm going to do it. And that's why we exist, because nobody helped us. Nobody helped us. So our tragedy in her death has rescued how many more families?
Yeah.
Her death wasn't in vain. It shouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But how many times do we sit on our hands and get stuck because we don't have an outlet, because we don't talk, because we just dealing with it? And you're not dealing with it. You're smoking it away, you're drinking it away, you're sexing it away, you're spending it away. And the problem is still there. You're still in your head.
Yeah.
So this is we talk about being oppressed. And to me, some of us are our own oppressors.
Oh, Karima, you stepping on some toes right now.
Used to it.
People don't understand it. They don't
How do we
understand.
allow people to put us in a box? Well, we're paid to protect and serve, but and you go for it, and you jump on social media and you rant about what they didn't do. I still don't see the picture of your kid. I still don't see you making a move toward taking care of that situation. But then there's, the other side. And so if just people would really, and it's hard to say, because I know I'm very abrupt and matter of factly.
Sometimes you have to be.
That's just who I am.
With love, though.
Love me or leave me alone. That's it. So if we continue to let our problem be our problem, we become the problem. If everything that I'm offended by silences me, I will be bound to being quiet and silenced. For as much voice as we have with social media, TikTok, this lady went with this little old story. Let me not minimize her story. But it's people who have been tortured, tied up, burnt, chained. They didn't go on TikTok. But she used her voice. And now she's on a platform to be in a movie. She used the power of her voice. Why do we use our power of our voice to take other people and crush their spirits? There's so many verbal homicides happening out here. I still got people writing about me, talking about what I didn't do. But the law enforcement called me on the official platform to close out this case because that's who I've been working with. You don't have to justify who you are to anybody. Just justify the fact that you're getting it done. Okay? If we take that same energy, as people say, and use it to promote the positive instead of the negative, we will be a healing community. How do we heal past the things that are holding us down, silencing us, oppressing us? Stop living in bondage. And then we bind our kids to it because we're hiding behind the fact that I can't even put my kid's picture out here from what somebody on social media gonna say. You gotta be kidding me. The white people didn't do that. The white people ain't doing that. They're not doing that. They're not doing that to you. We're doing it to ourselves based on what somebody else gonna say. Oh, this is no. And that's just me. Maybe because I always went. The little bit I can see, I would see that. I'm in the pulpit this morning. We really gotta. We have to free ourselves. We gotta unbind ourselves to what we came up in and what happened to us. A lot has happened to me. I was fighting a rape case from my own household when my niece was murdered. I was in the court defending myself and my children when my niece was murdered. It still took place, and I still came outside and helped other people. Everybody can't do that, but your help could be sharing. It does not take much. I'm a little extra. I'm very much extra. So if you can do a small part, you could be a writer, you could be a painter, you could be somebody to say to 4 people that this is what I dealt with and this is how I overcame it. Because somebody needs you out here. Somebody needs you to be able to take your experience. My experience was a missing kid and a homicide of a child.
Mhm.
And all the resistance that was coming against me. If only one person, and look what the one person turned into.
Mm.
So I just want to encourage y'all. Taking back our community does not have to be on standing on a platform and jump in front of a camera. It could be quiet work, starting in your own house.
Yeah.
Changing the narrative it sounds so big, but it's one person at a time, one conversation at a time. And again, I'm not on TikTok. I don't know the lady's name, but I know she talked about not why did I get married, but who did I marry?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Risa
And look
Tisa.
what happened.
Exactly.
Man, if y'all don't use social media for something else besides this foolishness and telling about what Beyonce and Jay-Z did and whoever else is on this platform and Diddy did it and TD Jakes, they still millionaires and our kids are still missing.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? One little person, so it's a body, right? And all functioning parts work together. And if we're not part of the body
What are
and
you
we're
a
not
part
working
of?
together, you would dis-ease in a dysfunctional system. Okay. That's all.
Queen, you did that. You did that, Queen. You did that. You did that. As we are closing out, what would you like to leave the listeners with? Because we are going to listen. 2024, everybody, it's time to take back our community. There's no way, shape, or form hate can come into our community and did what he did in Tops. We don't need any more of that. We don't need another Jalen disappearing. We don't need another young woman or man getting caught up, trapped into sex working. We don't need any of that. We need to, if you see something, say something. You're not snitching. You're a hero. You're a hero. You are a hero.
Make it plain. Make it plain.
Okay, Queen, if we don't do it, nobody's going to do it for us.
In the sweat rack. Yo, I can't. Who is that? Where's her robe in the sweat rack?
Thank you for making this light that bird.
I love my lap scarves. I do, but I am not a minister. I'm just doing what he called me to do for his glory. I'm just a servant. Thank you.
What is let us know what more we can do, and also what's going on with Bury the Violence and how we can support you, Queen. How we can support you.
You can go on our website, btvbuffalo.org. There is a donate space. I have not been funded in 10 years. For anybody that thinks I'm on a paid platform, no, boo-boo.
I know she's doing it from her heart, y'all.
I do this out of my pocket. I'm waiting to receive the harvest that is held up for my tears song and my work. I'm waiting. But so we have Jalen's birthday memorial that will take place at 6:00 Monday out at the Memorial Drive Paderewski Circle by the old train station in Buffalo. Coming out to show the family that we really do support them by showing up would be huge. Every first Sunday in June, we have a walk at Delaware Park to memorialize. This is our 11th annual, to memorialize those who have been killed in our city and abroad. If you are grieving and you have lost someone due to violence, we're out there. You start registering at 8 a.m. and walking, and there's things that we do to memorialize differently than bears, bottles, and balloons. We do have a GoFundMe. I tried posting it a couple times, but it didn't go anywhere. You could just go on there and look up Bury the Violence. It'll be on there. But follow us on social media. Open your mouth. Use your voice. Share a post. I need y'all because I'm tired and I need y'all. I need y'all to step up. Thank you so much. I'm gonna stand corrected because I ain't gonna be twisted. So we need y'all. I need y'all. The kids need y'all. The community needs y'all. It's not just me. I need y'all because the more of us it is to stand and walk. Not Amtrak station. It's the old terminal.
The old terminal? Oh.
Yes. The more of us it is, the more we can save. Stand up, take our babies back, take our streets back, put the unity back in community. I love y'all, and may God keep covering and protect y'all.
Mm-hmm. Amen, Queen. Amen. And if you like to support Bury the Violence, you can do a simple search, Bury the Violence. She is on social media platforms as Bury the Violence, Instagram, Bury the Violence. Hey, Painted Drip. Hey, Dale Hayes. Hey, Dollar Tree. Bury the Violence. Support this queen because she really is out here doing the work. She really is. Now, last year you had an event. Is that event going on this year? As well as there any events, fundraising events to help support what it is that you continuously do in our community?
Can I tell y'all my biggest thing? I don't ask for money. I just really don't. So I know. So what we do is we also have a program called Buffalo Against Domestic Violence. We're looking to have our annual fundraiser where we serve the marginalized communities of domestic violence conquerors, and we try to get them the help and link them to the services. That's a fundraiser that we have. Our walk, on my website, under the donate tab, you'll see t-shirts. If you buy a t-shirt, that will support our organization. We have every paid platform. I'm trying to become more sustainable by getting grants. So when I can afford to get a grant writer, so the more you sow, the more I grow, and it's open doors to bring you in, to volunteer with an NDA and a confidentiality contract. So support us by sharing, caring, and listen, if you can't give us $1, give us a holler. Share our stuff, please. So fundraisers, we really aren't big on it. We're getting on it. We do have a lot of events, but fundraisers, we only have one, and that's the pour back to get the women out of domestic violence situations, get them rides from their abuser, get them rides to the hospital, get them hotel rooms, places to stay until the shelter has room. That's what we do with the money that's given to us.
And what is the name of the website so we can?
btvbuffalo.org. BTV stands for Bury the Violence.
.org. I'm putting it in there again. Everybody go to that link. Even if you can only donate a few dollars, or even if you can only share, do that. If you go over to Bury the Violence on Instagram or even on Facebook, you're on Facebook as Bury the Violence as well.
Yeah.
Karima always has different stories that you can share. Share it to your stories. That way we can get the word out. The more we take care of us, the better off we will be. Nobody's coming to save us, y'all. We have to save ourselves.
And that's our new initiative, SOS, Securing Our Sisters. We're doing safety and security, where we're providing our sisters with the tools, skill sets. There's too many of us being raped in parks. Our babies is being snatched from walking home from school. It's happening live and direct right here in the park, Sean Park in North Buffalo. People walking out from their job and being the lady who was just followed home from downtown Buffalo to Cheektowaga. And they finally caught the guy.
What?
Yes. So that SOS, thank you. Securing Our Sisters. I'm building the page right now, but after we get done with funeralizing Jalen, and watch out for Jalen's funeral information. Yes. We are finalizing, waiting for his dad, to join the rest of us so we can get those things tied up and we can get this baby buried beautifully, properly, and his mom and his brother before him that have been deceased, give them, close that gap and bring their hearts together.
Well, Karima, Green Lynx Media and this platform is always open to whatever it is that you are doing, whether you need to put the information out there about a fundraiser, whatever it is, this is always open for you because, like I said before, you truly pour into all of us. It takes a lot to do what it is that you do. And man, when I say, let's fill her cup up, y'all, honestly, let's fill her cup up because she's doing, you never see her asking for money. You never see her asking for anything. anything.
I snatched that.
She's just
That
constantly
snatched that GoFundMe down so fast. I was like, this don't even feel right.
Quinn, but that it is, man. Put that GoFundMe back up there so we can put that up there every
Next
day
week.
if we have
Next
that
week,
up
because I
there.
don't want them to think I'm asking for money for this baby service, because he gonna be taken care of, because the Lord is kind. Okay.
I know that's
Next week,
right.
y'all.
Well, thank you so much, Karima, for
Thank
joining
you.
us today. I love you, Queen. I
I love you
swear,
too.
she really has a heart. Even if you meet her in person, she is the same person on screen, off screen. Go to btvbuffalo.org, everybody. Even if you cannot donate today, at least share it. At least share the link. Go to Bury the Violence. At least share the link. Go and see what she has up there today. At least share. That's what we can do. Take back our community. I love y'all. We will not be on tomorrow. We are taking a much needed mental health, medical health tomorrow. So catch up on the shows here on Green Lynx Media. And we will be back on Friday. We'll be back on Friday, everybody. Thank you again, Queen.
All right. You're welcome. Be blessed, everybody. Thank you.
You as well.
All right.
June in Pittsburgh.
Get ready for the biggest Juneteenth celebration in the nation. June 14th through the 16th in downtown Pittsburgh. It's an all-star lineup with special musical guests, Freeway and Beanie Siegel. Also featuring Brownstone, Kiki White, Arrested Development, Kelly Price, The Blackbirds, El Bonner, and more. June 14th through the 16th in Pittsburgh. Get there.
Depression, telling no. Self-hatred, oh, telling no, yeah. Mental illness, telling no. Diabetes and cancer, oh, telling no. Depression, telling no. Self-hatred, oh, telling no, yeah. Mental illness, telling no. Diabetes.